Okay, that's just actually just a series of ideas that I had. It's not usually, I don't usually do it as a full routine, but sometimes I do it as a full routine. And one of those classic approaches to making a routine where three people choose a card is to have somebody name a card, somebody takes a card, and somebody just thinks of a card. What's nice is if you give him whatever card he named, she takes whatever card, whatever, and she, the next person, she now has to say stop, and it sort of makes sense. You could be thinking of any card, but I don't want you to accidentally think of the same card, so you have to say stop. So you get a little bit better from a peek to an actual a thought card. Anyway, so you pick the card, and you put the cards in your other hand, and as you put them in your other hand, you hold a break below the card, whatever card they picked at. Then as you turn your hand, you turn the break into a step, and you lift up your hand, and from this side I can see the card. It's a shuffle transfer glimpse from John Bannon's fantastic book, and then they can actually shuffle because, of course, you remember. At some later on point, as you recap, you go through the cards until you find whatever card you know that they thought of. Let's say it was the Three of Clubs, I think. So wherever it may happen to be, I missed the first one around, it's right there. And you double undercut it to the top, or however you want to get it to the top, you get it to the top. You take these two cards, one of which you've seen, and then, for example, you could do Arthur Finley's version of the diagonal palm shift, which, as you remember, goes like, sorry, it doesn't go like this. But they're almost in, you push them in, you angle jog them. You can do the same bit of Vernon's, where you just push that down a bit, like two half moves, and then rather than palming them in your left hand, you push back your sleeve and you say there's nothing in this sleeve and there's nothing in this sleeve. And so the first, on the first pushing back the sleeve, obviously the cards get palmed, and then you push back this sleeve, but not only do you have them palmed here, but you also replace them when you put the cards back. So this card appears seemingly out of nowhere. They go in the center, so I'm going to try and control all of them at the same time. The first one, of course, is easy, whatever, this is the first one. And then you do the spin, or you can do whatever you want, really. But one of the things I like doing, there's gravity assist changes, and there is what I like to think of as kinetic deception. What I mean by that is, for example, gravity. This is like a combination of the two. So there's gravity assist because you're not doing anything. You're just letting gravity do its work, but the movement hasn't stopped yet. So when the movement stops, the move itself is over. So you can't really your mind. Sorry, that was bad, but in your mind you can't pinpoint the point where it actually changes. So it looks quite good. Anyway, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. For example, if you have the card palmed, one of the things we talked about is at some point you could just go over like so. That's a complete gravity assist, obviously, and you just let go. The card falls on there. But it's also kind of obvious. It may have come from this hand, which it did. It's also, if you do it this way around, well, then there's even less of a reason for that hand to go from this side to that side. But the add-on is the same. You just drop it. But if you combine this with something else, for example, an all-around square up, you say, I'm going to do an all-around square up, and you do an all-around square up, but on the first, you do it twice, and on the third time you name your card. 1, 2, on the third time they say 4 hearts, and you're doing the same thing. Inertia takes over. You're really just throwing the card on there, but your hand doesn't go quite over it. So you're throwing the card. You don't go over and deposit the card. You're throwing the card. But at the same time, and in the same movement, you continue to do an all-around square up. So that's kinetic deception. Anyway, you can do whatever you want with the second one. So you find the first one, you do this, and you can do that, and whatever you want. You turn this into the second one, and then you turn it into the third one again any way you want. You could just do that again, and you'd have the third card. If you do the thing with a triple, so you really just are turning over a triple and it turns into a third card. Or if you don't want to do that, you can palm the third card, which you know is going to be his card. You can have it palmed, you can add it to the top card, and now in order to change this, you change it face down. So I'll take all the other cards face up, and you do Martin Nash's The Ghost Switch, I think that's what it's called. So you show the card, and you push this card against the heel of your thumb, but at the same time you're unloading the bottom card. So really, as a gesture, this card changes. It looks very nice. Anyway, so you show it like this. You can do the Stuart Gordon turnover. I usually do this. Then you do the unload. You do a Charlie A cut or whatever you want to do. And just stick it in the center here. And you turn around, and they name the card that they just thought of. And typically, that gets a strong reaction. Like I said, you can mix and match a bit. There's lots of things you can do there. These, by the way, are Maltese cards. They're actually not Maltese. They're from Yatnik. But I bought them here in Malta. Anyway, that's it for right now. Thank you.